Hello, 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 and welcome back to another edition of Fan Talk, your favorite podcast by your favorite fan. That is me, of course, Kyle Brinchley, in the house on this Thursday. What's up, guys? Welcome to Fan Talk. If you're new here, hello. This is a podcast where fans gather together. We just talk about sports, and it's very fun this time of year with college football and NFL. And of course, we'll be talking about all the news and updates here today on the podcast. Fan Talk's a podcast you can find anywhere you get your podcasts. I also upload on YouTube, so if you like the video version, go check it out. Go like, subscribe. Just search Kyle Brinchley Fan Talk, and I should be there. We got the sign. No candle today. It's a little too warm. We got the Bucky shirt. All-American guy. Yeah, look at this. I got the backwards hat. I got the Bucky shirt. I got the long hair. I'm ready for football. Are you? It is insane. We have 5 straight days of college football again. Today's Thursday. I was in St. Louis earlier this week to catch some Pittsburgh Pirates games, so that's why this episode is being released a little later than I would have liked. I didn't really want to film while I was on vacation. That's not really my thing. But here it is, Thursday. There are college football games happening right as we speak, as you watch this. There'll be games Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. 5 days in a row to kick off the college football season. Wow. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And you're here with me, so it will be fantastic. Thank you guys so much for joining. Let's jump right in. Let's get to it. This episode will be a little bit shorter. I know last week I promised that this episode will be longer, but sometimes shorter is better. And I think shorter is going to be really good for this. Although I do want to mention some breaking news that just barely happened today. Micah Parsons, defensive end, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, who has been holding out on the Cowboys for a better contract, for more money, for a bigger extension, was threatening not to play. And we're getting close to the NFL season. We're literally a week away from today. And the Cowboys and him could not reach an agreement, so they ended up trading him from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. And Micah Parsons gets his record contract. Now, let me tell you all the deals, and then we'll kind of break it down. So the Cowboys, in exchange for trading Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers, they received a 3-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Kenny Clark, 2 first-round picks, 26 and 27, and Parsons agrees to a 4-year, $188 million contract with the Packers that includes $120 million for fully guaranteed signing and $136 million in total guarantees, making him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. And that's according to the article on ESPN. Micah Parsons goes to social media and says he's sad to leave Dallas. He didn't want this. He just wanted money, yada, yada, yada. Now he's a Green Bay Packer. We're seeing this a lot from NFL players where they threaten to not play. They threaten to sit down and say, hey, until we figure this out, I'm not going to play for you. Which, honestly, good for them, right? In a way, good for them. Is it good for the sport overall to have a bunch of these diva players saying, oh, I deserve to be the best player or the highest paid player. Give me more money. I'm not going to play for you. And everyone's doing that and everyone wants to be the highest paid. No, it's not good for the sport, I don't think. But I do understand players being like, hey, I don't feel appreciated here. You want me, then you pay me. I get that from the player's standpoint. I do. But it it is frustrating, especially for a fan, if and I'm not a fan of the Cowboys whatsoever. My cousin's a fan of the Cowboys. That's close enough for me. But like as a fan and seeing a player like Micah Parsons, generational talent, very good, being like, hey, front office, hey, Jerry Jones, hey, pay this guy. Like, we want to keep him. Like, you know what I mean? So it can get frustrating for fans. It can get frustrating for owners. It's frustrating for players, right? But regardless, Micah Parsons traded to the Green Bay Packers. Record deal, highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. That is going to change very soon. Every single day, I'm pretty sure. It feels like there's a new record contract, a new highest paid quarterback, a new highest paid non-quarterback. It's just crazy how much money these guys are making. It's just going up and up and up. So there's your little NFL news. Again, next week, tips off on Thursday. I'll do a better job. I think I'm gonna do my episode on Tuesday next week, just to give it some time to breathe before NFL Week 1. It's gonna be super fun. I love the NFL, and if you've been here before, I do an NFL weekly game pick'em. I'll talk about that next week. Get you guys all signed up and joined. But I also do a college weekly pick'em. So you guys should definitely join it. I'll link it down below. All you have to do is go to ESPN and create an account and email password. It's very simple. And it's through fantasy. So you're probably already signed up for fantasy football. This one is college pickup. So you just pick the games each week for college. So let's go here and create a new entry. Really, all you have to do is go down here and pick who you think is going to win each game. It's that simple. Just one click, and you just go back and forth. Da-da-da-da-da. It is that simple. So again, if you want to join, please head over. The group is called Fan Talk Podcast Fun Group College Edition. And the idea is, can you beat me? Can you stop me? I'm very good at picking NFL games. College, I'm comme ci, comme ça. So, right? So if you can beat me, all the power to you. It's super fun. It's a lot less work than fantasy football. But please come join us at the Fan Talk Podcast Fun Group College Edition. I'll be linking that down below. I'll also be putting it on my social medias. So head over to my Instagram. This podcast has its own Instagram page. You can also check out my personal page. Look me up on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever you want to do. I am there. You can find the link and join. And if you beat me, all the glory is yours. All right, guys. What games should be watching this weekend? There's 5 days of college football. You're probably like, there's no way I'm going to watch every single game of college football in these 5 days, as hard as I try. And I've tried that before. When I was in college as a single guy, when I wasn't dating anyone, and my job was pretty low key, and I was just like getting settled into college, I had a lot of free time, is what I'm trying to say. And I think this was my junior year in college. I would literally watch college football all day Saturday. And then I watched the NFL all day Sunday. And then there was Monday night, Thursday night. All these nights where football was on. I would literally, my entire weekend was football from September to January. It was literally college football. And it was crazy. And honestly, it was a little too much. So, all the power to you, watching every single game. I tried doing that. It kind of burned me out. So you're probably wondering, okay, Kyle, I'm not going to watch every game. Tell me, what games should I be watching this weekend? Maybe I can watch 1 or 2, maybe 3. So listen up. These are the games in college football that you should be watching this weekend. Well, honestly, there's a college football game going on right now. You're probably watching that instead of listening to me. But Friday night, let's start with Friday night, because Thursday, those games are probably already going to be happening by the time you get to this podcast. Friday night, there's a big-time matchup. When I say big time, it's relative. It's the best game on tomorrow night. The Baylor Bears out of the Big 12 are hosting the Auburn Tigers out of the SEC. That game is tomorrow night. Should be really fun. It's at Baylor. Auburn is, of course, in the SEC, so they're playing with the big dogs every single week. Their quarterback, Jackson Arnold, used to be the quarterback at OU and just really struggled there and wasn't that great, but he's a 5-star prospect coming out of high school. So he's really trying to look to reinvent himself at Auburn and try to get the team back on track. There's been a few years where Auburn's been kind of mid to lower tiers there in the SEC. Baylor, a huge opportunity to take on an SEC team and take them down at home to start their season. Neither team's ranked, but both teams coming out of big conference, big programs. Should be a fun one to watch. But at the same time, and this is not one of the games I'm recommending, but at the same time, if you want to watch Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, coach at Colorado, his kid's not there. His kids, plural, are no longer there. Travis Hunter's no longer there, but Colorado does host Texas Tech. That game's also on at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Saturday is when most of the games are. Of course, you should be watching this game starting at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Number 1 Texas, debuting Arch Manning as their quarterback against number 3 Ohio State, the team that won the national championship last season. So you have the defending champs hosting the number 1 seed with a legendary last name quarterback, Arch Manning. Should be cinema. Absolutely amazing. That game's at 10 a.m. Tennessee and Syracuse are playing simultaneously at that time for the Aflac kickoff. But I'd be watching this Texas-Ohio State game. If you have YouTube TV, which I totally recommend, you can watch 4 games at once, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, or you can do 2 at a time, you can do 3 at a time. It's an awesome viewing experience. I'm not sponsored by YouTube TV by any means, but it does help on days like these where there's literally 30 plus college football games going on. So Texas, Ohio State, you should definitely check out. I'd also recommend Alabama, Florida State. So just keep the channel on. Just don't even turn off the TV, because when one game ends, another game begins, and it just keeps going and going. And I'll show you halftime highlights, and you're probably like, Kyle, slow down. I don't know what half of this means. That's okay. That is okay. Yeah, just watch your game. There's a million good games on. Alabama, Florida State's another one you should be watching. And then we get into the evening time. LSU, number 9 LSU versus number 4 Clemson. So again, the teams are ranked. Number 1's the best, and they go down to 25. And then if you're not in that rankings, that means you're good but not great, and you're trying to get into the top 25. If you have a number by your name, your team's doing pretty good. So LSU, number 9, Clemson, number 4. This game is in Clemson. It should be super fun. That game's at 5:30 Mountain Standard Time. Top 10 matchup in Week 1. Yes, please. For my local fans, Utah State hosts the UTEP Miners. Go Aggies. That's my alma mater. Should be a fun one. They have a new coach in Bronco Mendenhall. You may remember the name. An entirely new team, pretty much. I think the quarterback's really the only returning player of note. BYU is hosting Portland State. That game's at 6 p.m. at night. BYU named Bear Bachmeier, a true freshman, their starting quarterback. The first time that's kind of happened in a while, so big deal down there in Provo. That should be a fun one for BYU at least. And then University of Utah is traveling to the Rose Bowl, a place they're very familiar with, to take on UCLA. That should be fun because Utah's got a new quarterback, a lot of new players. So who is this Utah team coming off a 5-7 season? Is this Kyle Whittingham's last year? What can Devin Dampier do? A lot is yet to be seen with the University of Utah team. But that's a late game, 9 o'clock. So stay up late. Hopefully you're not tuckered out with all the football you're watching all day. University of Utah at UCLA. And then on Sunday, we have some fun games. Number 6 Notre Dame against number 10 Miami. That's a game you should definitely be checking out. And then if you're still craving some more football, on Labor Day, Monday night, TCU and North Carolina. So you're probably wondering, Kyle, you started this by saying 1 or 2 games, and you literally gave me 7 or 8. Well, there's just so many good ones, and I'm just so excited for college football. So watch whatever you want. It's a fantastic time of year. It should be really interesting to see. I guess some things to look out for this college football season. Arch Manning and Texas, number 1 overall. Obviously, the world thinks there's a lot of hype around them. They did very well with Quinn Ewers. They've had some good players in the past. Steve Sarkisian, very good coach. So it should be interesting to see what they can do with Arch Manning. Can they live up to the hype? What is in store for them? Ohio State coming off of winning the championship last year. New quarterback. But they're Ohio State, so they always get new guys. They always bring in people. They still have Jeremiah Smith, arguably the best receiver in the entire nation. What can they do this year? The SEC, it's loaded. Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Missouri, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Texas. I can keep going. Like, every team is a threat. Who's going to come out on top this year? Is it going to be Georgia, Alabama again, or is a new team really going to present themselves? Ole Miss. Who's going to step up? Is yet to be seen as well. And how the local team is going to do. Utah, like I mentioned, fresh quarterback. BYU, fresh quarterback. Utah State, fresh coach, fresh entire team. Should be super interesting. And I'll be here in the entire time guiding you along this amazing journey that is called college football. It's going to be so fun. I am so excited that you're here with us. Again, it's going to be fantastic. Go watch some college football this weekend. Go join that college pick'em group. Again, I'll link it down below in the description if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple or Amazon, head over to my social medias at KBranch on Instagram or at Fan Talk Podcast. That is the podcast's official Instagram. Send me a message. Join the group. Check out my other content. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in and being so supportive. It's going to be a fun football season. Thank you so much for joining Fan Talk. Again, this is a podcast you can find anywhere you get your podcasts. And thanks for joining. Go watch some football this weekend. And little Bucky here will say goodbye, and we'll see you guys next week for another edition of Fan